In just 2 years in the office, he has escaped 18 assassination attempts and recently he stole the show in Ghana presidential inauguration. His name is Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
The year 2025 began with a sense of hope and new beginnings for many, but for Burkina Faso, the first day of the year brought shock and disbelief. On January 1st, news broke that President Ibrahim Traoré, the 35-year-old leader of the country, had narrowly escaped an assassination attempt. This shocking event sent ripples of anxiety and uncertainty across the nation and the world. What initially seemed like a promising new chapter for Burkina Faso was instantly overshadowed by violence, fear, and a deepening political crisis. This wasn't just another coup attempt, but a fierce and violent response to a leader who had boldly defied the global powers that had long held control over the region. Traoré had openly challenged Western influence, advocating for a new vision of African independence that disrupted the status quo and sent shockwaves through the international community. But why was Traoré targeted? Who stands to gain from plunging Burkina Faso into chaos? To understand who Ibrahim Traoré is and what he represents, we must look at his remarkable rise to power in Burkina Faso in 2022. As a military captain with a clear vision for change, Traoré emerged in a nation facing political turmoil, insurgency, and widespread poverty. His ascent was driven by a genuine understanding of his people's challenges rather than by wealth or political connections. At just 34 years old, he became one of Africa's youngest leaders. His bold promises of independence and self-governance struck a chord with a population tired of foreign control and corruption. Before Traoré took office, Burkina Faso suffered from insurgencies, poverty, and a lack of trust in the government. Many citizens believed that the administration was merely a puppet for foreign powers, especially France, which had maintained a significant presence in the country since colonial times. Traoré's challenge to this legacy transformed him into a symbol of resistance and a target for those intent on maintaining the old order. When Ibrahim Traoré rose to power, he carried a message that resonated deeply.
Burkina Faso needed to carve out its destiny and be free from the lingering shadows of colonial rule.
His mission was both ambitious and clear: seize control of the nation's resources, reclaim sovereignty, and break the grip of foreign powers, especially France, which had long benefited from Burkina Faso's gold mines and other natural resources. Traoré's ascent was not just a political change, it became a declaration of national pride and identity. For many, he stood as a symbol of defiance against a global system that had kept African nations under foreign control for far too long. However, a leader like Traoré inevitably elicits strong reactions. What fuels such intense feelings of support and opposition? His actions have disrupted the foundation of France's influence in Africa. By confronting French business interests, expelling French military forces, and prioritizing local languages over French in official matters, Traoré has become a thorn in the side of Western powers. Yet, for the people of Burkina Faso, he embodies hope, a leader with a vision of a nation standing independently. Could this ambitious vision be the catalyst for the coup attempt against him? Or is there a more complex web of conspiracies involving both international and domestic players? To truly grasp why Traoré has become such a polarizing figure, we must delve into these events' potential forces at play. At first glance, the unrest in Burkina Faso appears to stem primarily from opposition within the country. Even among the military, Traoré's leadership has encountered pushback. Although he enjoys significant popularity among the general public, some factions within the military have not fully accepted his authority. Certain members see his anti-colonial approach as challenging the existing power dynamics and may advocate for returning to the previous order. Yet, this internal conflict is just one aspect of the situation. External opponents are among Traoré's most vocal critics. If he succeeds in realizing his vision of an independent Burkina Faso, it directly threatens France's long-standing interests. The former colonial power has wielded considerable influence in West Africa, with French companies dominating the gold industry in Burkina Faso for many years, reaping substantial profits while the local population remains in poverty. Traoré's assertive measures, such as nationalizing the mining sector, expelling French troops, and rejecting French political and cultural influence, challenged the economic foundations of French supremacy in the region, However, France is not the only country that has invested in Burkina Faso's future. A genuine move toward African independence disrupts a global order where Western nations, including the United States, have historically viewed Africa as a battleground for their geopolitical and economic interests.
Ils ne partiront pas de certains pays. Ils ont juste dissous le dispositif. Vous ne les verrez plus dans des bases. Mais dans les ambassades, ils seront là. Ils vont constituer des sociétés de sécurité pour sécuriser leurs sociétés qui existent dans ces pays-là. Mais les soldats seront là. Mais vous ne les verrez plus en tenue ou rassemblés dans des bases. C'est tout ce que ça veut dire. Ils vont se réorganiser, mais seront là.
The attempt on Traoré's life goes beyond just a power struggle. It serves as a stark warning to anyone who might challenge the established global order. Burkina Faso stands at a pivotal moment, with its leader injured, its citizens anxious, and its future uncertain. Already grappling with political turmoil and persistent insurgencies, the country faces the daunting possibility of escalating chaos as fear spreads throughout Ouagadougou. While Traoré's supporters rally to protect him, a cloud of uncertainty hangs overhead, with rising concerns about a potential military coup. Burkina Faso has a history marked by coups, and this incident could spark yet another, threatening to derail Traoré's aspirations for independence and plunging the nation deeper into disorder. The international community is watching closely. A successful coup would destabilize Burkina Faso and undermine the broader Pan-African movement that Traoré embodies. His courageous stand against neo-colonialism has made him a beacon of hope for many, yet it has also put him in the sights of those who wish to preserve the existing order. The pressing question is whether Burkina Faso can endure this crisis or will yield to the forces intent to re-establish foreign control. If you're still watching this video, it means you're loving it. Why not take a quick second to hit that like button? Done it? Let's continue. So, does this attack signal the end of Traoré's vision for a sovereign, self-reliant Africa? For many, his leadership symbolizes much more than Burkina Faso's fight for independence. It directly confronts the deep-rooted neo-colonial systems that have hindered Africa's advancement for generations. Traoré's ascent has turned his country into a symbol of hope, encouraging other African nations to rethink their dependence on Western powers and to pursue genuine sovereignty. This wave of unity has elevated Burkina Faso to a significant status, a nation that boldly challenges the established global order. However, the attempt on Traoré's life brings urgent concerns about the future of this burgeoning movement. If Traoré were to be ousted, would the push for African independence lose momentum, pushing nations back into reliance on foreign influence? Or would his vision continue to inspire resistance, even without him? The stakes are incredibly high, extending far beyond Traoré's safety. He aims to establish a legacy of freedom, unity, and sovereignty for Burkina Faso and the entire continent. This assassination attempt has shown that Traoré's leadership extends well beyond the issues facing his nation. It represents a courageous stance against influential international forces, intent on preserving the status quo, turning his struggle into a significant symbol of resistance and hope for a transforming Africa. A significant aspect of Ibrahim Traoré's ascent to power is his firm opposition to French influence in Burkina Faso. His commitment to liberating the nation from foreign control, supported by a growing domestic resistance, has made him a target for Western powers. These countries, which have historically exploited Africa's resources, see Traoré's vision for local development and a self-sufficient economy as a direct threat to their interests. His decisive action to expel French troops and advocate for an independent Burkina Faso is a powerful reminder of the steep cost of true sovereignty today. If Traoré were to lose his position, how would the people of Burkina Faso respond? Would they appreciate his contributions to Africa? The Renaissance City, a significant urban initiative led by Traoré, symbolizes much more than mere infrastructure. It embodies a struggle for sovereignty. It's not solely about building structures, it's about rejecting centuries of foreign exploitation and demonstrating that Burkina Faso, and Africa as a whole, can flourish without dependence on the West. This project conveys a strong message that African nations can determine their own destinies. For decades, Africa has been told that its advancement relies on foreign intervention. Colonial powers historically dominated African industries, and even now, many contend that the continent cannot progress without external investment or expertise. However, Traoré's Renaissance City challenges this narrative. Leveraging local resources and emphasizing sustainability illustrates that African countries can spearhead their development free from outside influence. This marks a shift in perspective, moving from alignment with Western objectives to embracing Africa's inherent potential and creativity. Traoré's leadership is inspiring other African nations that have historically depended on Western military support and aid. Countries like Mali and Niger are closely observing Burkina Faso's path, particularly its success in expelling French forces and reclaiming its resources. Traoré's actions convey a powerful message to the rest of Africa.
The continent no longer needs to plead for a place at the table. It's time to assert its independence and demand respect.
However, this courageous stance comes with significant risks. Western powers, especially France, have initiated covert operations to undermine Burkina Faso's progress. Diplomatic isolation and economic pressures are being employed to maintain control, and the attempts on Traoré's life highlight the lengths these forces will go to retain their grip on Africa's resources. Despite these threats, Traoré remains steadfast in his commitment to his vision for Burkina Faso and the broader African freedom movement. His survival in the face of multiple assassination attempts only reinforces his determination. This struggle isn't solely about his safety, it's about the future of a continent dominated by external powers for far too long. His leadership is a beacon of hope for many Africans weary of oppression and foreign interference. The survival of Traoré and ongoing leadership would signify that Africa can take charge of its destiny. It would deliver a significant blow to the forces of neo-colonialism that have hindered the continent for so long. His vision for a united, self-reliant Africa is gaining momentum as more nations recognize the potential to resist Western control and foster a future rooted in cooperation and self-determination. The stakes have never been higher, and the future of Africa may very well hinge on how far Traoré and the Pan-African movement can challenge these entrenched forces. And the world is watching as Burkina Faso embarks on this turbulent period. This struggle will not end tomorrow, not only for the country Burkina Faso, but for the entire movement of Africa for liberation. Whether or not Traoré continues his country's equally improbable march or fails, as N'Djamena itself has yet to make its final movement, his leadership has already imprinted the belief in Africans themselves, a self-reliant Africa, for a generation. Can this dream prevail against the tooth and claw that works relentlessly against it? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you found this message compelling, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with others, subscribe to our channel, and turn on post notifications for more thought-provoking content. Thanks for watching.